Yo, what up? Yeah, you can join, dude. I'm in the party. Well, you don't gotta ask, man. You can join in the party. You join in. I'm gonna do a scab run. Tarkov is the best? Yes, Tarkov is the best. Indeed, it is indeed. I want to play it, but don't have money. Bro, it's definitely an expensive game right off the back, but it's definitely worth the money once you get it. I might not be in the chat. Hold on. There you go. I'm in the chat now.
Searching for me. I'm locked away in this house all day. The demons have always kept me here, and I hear the deafening screams calling out to me. Have they always done that? What am I going to say?
129K for that?
I think I'm right where I need to be. I'm right where I need to be.
What up?
Dude, I feel like it's been like so long since we actually had a conversation.
Not too long.
Has it haven't? I feel like it's been like
I've just been working, man. It's called work. Work.
I'm currently trying to move to a different mine. I know it's early, but I'm trying to move to a different one.
And heads up before you jump into any conversation. I am live on TikTok, so please watch what you're saying.
Okay. I can still talk about the coal mine, right?
Yeah. Just don't emphasize. You know what I mean? Like if you start talking about people, don't be mean, harsh. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Just kind of like
Oh yeah. So it's like, it's like it's a good job. You know what I'm saying? It's like it really is. It's a good job. It's a good experience. But it really like if you want to. I feel like if you want to work there, it really just depends what mine you're at. You know, because for instance, it's like I stood up. It's like I stood up. I worked. It's like I drug and hung ventilation tubes. Like 74-pound, 10-foot long yellow tubes. Yeah. And I did that all day long. And the shortest tube was 107 pounds.
Yeah. And what's that tubing for?
Getting all the dust out of mine.
Huh. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. But it's like, for instance, I worked 6 hours, right? Walking, checking tubes, hanging tubes, and it's like I didn't even sit down. It's like I didn't even stand around and take a break. And it's like the moment it's like I go to sit down and take like a 5-minute breather, I get yelled at.
Huh.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, I look at him, I'm like, we're not allowed to have breaks, and he's like, no, and I'm like, oh man,
Depends on when those breaks are.
nah, it's like I was sitting down when.
Do you have designated breaks?
Huh?
Do you have designated breaks?
No, there's no lunch breaks down at the one I work at.
By law, you have to.
Oh yeah, but it's like I'm about to tell you how it's like there was people, for instance, like it's like there was a bolter that like hung mesh and put bolts on the roof and the ribs of the mine and stuff. This guy, he had canned ravioli. He had it heating up on the engine. He was eating while still hanging up bolts. Everybody was eating while working. It's like at that mine. It's like somebody even told
you guys
my mom.
You do have a break time, right? Though you have an hour break, right?
No.
So you work a full 10-hour breaks or full 10 hour with no breaks, no nothing.
Yes. I promise you, I'm not lying.
Like in the state of the United States, it's illegal because like if you work more than, I think it's more than 6 hours, or it's like it's a certain amount of hours. I think it's 4 to 6 hours plus. You're required to have either a full hour break or 2 partial 30 minutes breaks, or 2 15 minutes and a 30 minute to make up an hour.
Yeah,
and that's in the United States state law. So like they physically, like they really like. They can't do that. Like,
yeah. But it's like one of my mom's friends that works in a mine asked why I would go to that mine, because it's one of the worst ones I can work at because they get a whole bunch of safety violations.
Clearly, if they're not giving you a break.
And that same night I got sick of the gases. I threw up. I got sick of the gases. I looked at It's like nobody like at that mine uses a gas detector, which is dangerous as hell.
Yeah, I wouldn't be working there if I don't get a fucking 15-minute break, dog. I'm like, oh, I need my 15 minutes so I can go eat my lunch. So how do you eat lunch?
I was dragging tubes with a sandwich in my hand.
There's no way. That's just so illegal.
Yeah, it's like that's the main reason why I want to go to a different mine, because I was like, I don't like the way they work.
So illegal.
It's like
so illegal.
It's like I don't mind working hard, and but it's like at least give me a 5-minute break so I can stand around, or at least sit down for 2 or 3 minutes and catch my breath, or at least eat my lunch or something.
I mean, yeah, because like it blows my mind that they're even running business without giving employees a break, because like in the United States of America, every law and business required has to give employees.
Oh yeah, and it's like when MSHA shows up there, which is like.
So I mean, if they did show up there, they have to show on paper that their employees have a break. So like they have to have a policy, in play to where your employees get a break.
The MSHA over there, it's like they do stuff different every time. For instance, it's like, let's just say they'll walk up to me and then they'll be like, "What's your name?" And then they'll get my name because I'm the new guy, and then they'll walk up to the front desk and be like, "Hand me this guy's training records," and if I wasn't trained on what I was doing, they'd get fined.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then also human rights.
That's your rights. Oh yeah, but the thing is, it's crazy. The first day I was at work, I heard a whole bunch of calls on the radio. MSHA's here. They're letting people know.
That's fucking
bro. Yeah, it's like they're letting people know to like change up their acts because MSHA's there.
I'm sorry. I would have already been like, yo, listen. I would have looked at their policy, like get their handbook, and this is just me. I would look at their handbook, look at breaks, their breaks, and see what their policy is, and be like, yo, it looks like here in my 10-hour day, by law and policy of your handbook, I'm required a 30-minute break. So I'm going to take my 30-minute break down here. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. What's up?
Sure.
Damn.
But not, it's like, if it wasn't for how hard they worked me, though, I would have got on for a little bit when I got off work and stuff, you know?
So, are you full-time, right? Or are you part-time?
You really can't work full. You really can't work full-time in a mine because the mine doesn't close.
What do you mean? Yeah, you can.
Well, I mean, it's like you can, but you don't want to type shit, you know?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to ask you. Like, are you
Because
full-time or are you part-time?
Everybody there is part-time.
So that's why you're not getting a break.
But they're 10-hour shifts.
And you don't, but you work like 10-hour shifts and you work in part-time hours. So like you'll work 2-3 days and then have like 2-3 days off, right?
They said, bro, this mine, they said sometimes they work Sundays.
Yeah, but you still like you're only working like 32 hours, right?
The last time I heard about when I worked, last time I was over there. The last time I heard about them getting a day off, they said it was a little bit before Christmas.
Yeah, I get that, but you're part-time, right?
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
It's like,
so that's why you're not getting breaks because you're counted as a part-time employee. If you're counted as a full-time employee, then you would get your.
But it's a coal mine. It's completely different work. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. It's all. But bro, it doesn't matter if it's like different work. It's still like part-time, full-time. No matter if you worked at a convenience store.
No. The way I look at it, dude, I'm like doing back breaking work all day long in a hot ass mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But water down there, it's like my water barely stays cold.
Yeah.
And
I get what you're coming at. I get what you're coming at because you're coming at as an employee that's working on the conditions. But I'm looking at it as a person that's looking
not even
a
lunch break. Not even a lunch break.
Yeah, well, that's because they got you as a part-time employee.
Everybody there is a part-time employee.
Exactly.
That's how the coal mines work. But the thing is,
exactly that's how they get away.
At this other coal mine, where I wasn't supposed to work 10 hours. My shifts were supposed to be 8.
8 hours, and then how many days you work?
I only worked 4 days because, dude, it's like I was like that's bullshit. I was like, it's like
So
when I threw up that. 10
hour 4 days.
Yeah,
that's full-time employee. So you're a full-time employee.
But realistically, the shit. It's like the shifts change. I don't know how they change. Like how often they change. They'll go to 8 to 10 to 12 to 14 or something like that.
Do you know what part-time and full-time is, right though?
Part-time's like you're not there the full day type shit.
No. Well,
that's how I look at part-time. Part-time is like you get less hours than people that.
Yeah, but that's true. But that doesn't necessarily mean you leave early. You can work a full day, but you work a full day, but you work a less to make less hours. But if you work 40 plus hours, if you work more than 32 hours, you are counted as a full-time employee. So full-time employee, get those, you know, those benefits of taking an hour lunch, 30 minutes to 15 minutes, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, like, if you're working 10-hour plus shifts 4 days a week, every week, you're working 40 hours plus a week.
I would be doing them six or seven.
I know. So you're a full-time. You're not part-time. So you're a full-time employee. And if they
I'm also still in the swing of this like full-time and part-time stuff because a lot of my jobs in the past have been under the table pay.
Yeah. So
you know, never really.
I'm trying to help you out understand. I'm trying to help you understand that you have rights because like I've managed. You know what I mean? I've managed a bunch of employees, and like what you're telling me now is you're a full-time employee. You're not getting no breaks. You're literally working full 10-hour shifts without sitting down, physically grabbing your food, and having a full 30-minute break, which is completely against human rights and regulations and laws, bro. Like, unreal. Like, so, if I was you...
and it's like, I wouldn't lie to you.
Yeah, I know. So if I was you, bro, I would get their policy in their handbook, grab their handbook, look at their policy in their handbook where it says breaks, and say, like, hey, this is what... And tell them, like, if your boss, like, yells at you and be like, yo, I looked at the handbook, I'm a 40-hour-a-week employee, which is counted as a full-time employee, and it says here in your handbook and your policy that every full-time employee is required an hour break, regardless if it's a 15-minute interval or if it's a 30-minute interval. You know, and then they have no reason to not give it to you. And if they do not give you that break, that's against the law, and you can sue them, or you can report them to the OCC. Well, it'll be whatever your OCC, your state, you know, federal, you know, your state commission, whatever, you know, work environment.
Yeah,
because that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up, and I wouldn't work there if I was you. If they're doing that shit, bro.
That's the main reason why I want to go to a different. That's the main reason why I'm moving.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like when I told my mom, it's like she honestly got pissed, and when I told her, she was like,
"Yeah, fuck yeah, bro! I'm getting pissed for you because I'm like, there's no fucking way, bro."
No, she got pissed when I said I was wanting to move to a different mine.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and it's like then I told her, and she was like, "Oh."
Yeah, you better be on your side, dog. I better say I'm on your side 100% because that's fucked up, man.
Because it's like the way how she looked at it at first, because I just came up and told her, I said, hey, I'm thinking about moving to a different mine. The way she looked at it as I don't like doing the work over there, so I'm going to try it somewhere else.
Yeah. I can understand. I can understand if you're a part-time employee. Like if you're a part-time employee and you're working less than 30 hours a week at that company, then yeah, they would have right to take your break away because you're not working there. You're not working there the max amount of hours to gain that benefit of a, you know, basically of a break. Like, so like, for instance, like if you're there for 10 hours and then you have 3 days off, you know what I mean? You're there for 10 hours, you can probably get like a 15, 20 minute break, 30 minute break or whatever. You're still required to get a little bit of a like leeway. Not someone that's going to sit there and go, hey, get your fucking ass up because you're sitting down. You're a part-timer. They don't work like that. You know, that's not right. You know what I mean? And if they're doing that...
You know what's crazy about that? So it's like I drug 5 tubes all the way down. That's probably about like a half mile. And it's like, I'm not over-exaggerating either. I'm not over-exaggerating. Probably about a half mile all the way down to the end of the face of the mine.
Yeah.
And after I got all the tubes down there, it's like I didn't take a break in between. It's like as soon as I dropped one tube off, I turned around and got walking into the other. And it's like as soon as I got all the tubes down there, I sat down. I was like, all right, I'm going to take a breather before I hang these tubes up. This guy comes up to me and says, you better get those damn tubes hung up. We don't want a $50,000 fine. And I'm like, dude. I looked at him straight up and I said, look, you want it done so bad, you do.